Once said, winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I've learned in my career I'm only as good as the tools I use.
12 for Levi Morgan.
One chance, one moment, one shot.
We don't build these bows to be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the mavericks, the fearless. We forge our own path. We're not chasing anyone, but we know what they're running from. It's an obsession, and the obsessed never rest.
Hey everybody, welcome to our continuing coverage of the 2019 Vegas Shoot. We are live here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, where over 3,700 archers from all over the world are competing in the world's largest indoor archery tournament. I'm your host, PJ Riley, tonight. We've got lots to get to. I wanted to mention right up front that we're going to have Matthews Pro Aaron McGladdery here in a minute. So if you got any questions for Erin, start sending them over. We'll get to those when she is up here. But before we bring up Erin, last night we had the unique opportunity right on this field behind me. We spent some time with some disabled veterans and other people with special needs who teamed up with pro archers for a special competition called Break the Barriers Archery. This was a great event that really highlights the healing power of archery. Let's check that out.
Break the Barriers, who's a nonprofit. We've been a nonprofit for 34 years. We're all about outreach and education. When we found out that there wasn't really any opportunity for our veterans in our area, which is a little over 300 veterans in the Central California, we wanted to step up and be able to give back to these guys and gals. So we started a free program. For a lot of them that are dealing with some heavy stuff mentally, archery kind of takes your mind off that stuff. You have to obviously focus, and that focus is allowing them to not think about realities of maybe stuff that happened in their experience. So these guys are getting healthier mentally and physically just participating in sport.
Archery is a lot of fun. Archery opened up my eyes to a lot of other things I could do in my life. See, I had a stroke approximately 10 years ago, and that weakened the left side of my body, and there's a lot of things that I enjoyed doing that I could no longer do. And so when I was shown that I was able to do archery, I used that as an impetus to get me to do other things.
You know, I love learning how to shoot as archery, and become an archer has been fun, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Going away every day from practice, I just walk on clouds when I leave there. It's so exciting, and the camaraderie amongst all the veterans as we shoot and we leave, it's just, no words for it.
I would say excited is not even the right word to describe it. I think it's just amazing, and I appreciate that the pros are stepping right in there with us and giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, it's awesome. We had a great time. These guys shot awesome. Jared shot the best pinwheel of the night, I think. And yeah, Jennifer shot awesome, so just a great time.
It's just an honor to be invited here to shoot with all the other people that are shooting just for fun. It means I can make an impact in the world for archery and touch other lives.
These guys, most of them in a recovery program. Archery saved a lot of their lives. So we wanted to bless them by taking them to this tournament, and there's a lot of people on the back end that have been fundraising and helping these guys train year-round and get here. So we're excited. This is something that I've been looking up to and something I don't think they'll ever forget.
Been at it for 6 weeks now, and just coming into the program, I absolutely love it and thrilled to be here.
Oh, it's fantastic. I can't even put enough words to it, honestly. It's overwhelming.
I think it's just another opportunity to really give a positive to what Break the Barriers is doing, and it's a wonderful organization, and it just meets so many different niches.
This is the biggest shoot in the world, you know, so we wanted something to be life-changing for them, and this shoot is definitely life-changing. So we'll keep coming back.
This is my first time at being here with people. It warms my heart.
Such a beautiful soul.
Thank you very much.
That's a beautiful medal you got there.
Yeah.
Are you a big Jesse Broadwater fan now?
Yes, I am.
All right, thanks, folks. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that was inspiring. I can tell you last night being on the floor, when one of those archers hit the X-ring, the place just exploded. It was really cool to see. There's really two facets to the Vegas shoot. The first is the Indoor Archery World Series Finals. So over the past several months, archers have been competing in a series of indoor tournaments around the world. The Vegas shoot is their big finale, their grand finale event. And through a series of scoring point system, they whittled down the field of competitors to a group of qualifiers. Those qualifiers right now are competing in elimination matches to pare down the field even more to just medal matches. If you can see the field behind me right now, that's World Archery setting up the gold medal match stage. And World Archery is going to bring us the gold medal matches for men's and women, compound and recurve matches. They're going to bring those to us at 8 p.m. tonight. You're going to want to tune in to the World Archery Facebook page at 8 o'clock Pacific time, that's where we are, 3 hours later on the East Coast, to follow that competition. The second part is the Vegas shoot itself. That's what we've been doing. We're through 2 days here. Archers from a variety of divisions, they shoot 30 hours a day for 3 days in a row. The main event is the Championship Open Compound Competition. The winner of that event is going to take home $53,000. That's the top prize. With manufacturer contingencies, that person could be looking at $100,000. And the way we're going to pick that person is tomorrow night there's going to be a shoot-off. Every archer in the Championship Open Compound Division that shoots a perfect 900 after the final qualification tomorrow, they will automatically qualify for the finals. Every archer in that division that shot an 899, they will have a special pre-competition to pick one person. They'll just line up and shoot off, pick one winner that will be considered the lucky dog. That person will advance to the finals as well, and then they're going to shoot off to find that big winner. That competition right now is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. We will be live here at 5 p.m. to bring you a preview show. We don't know how many archers are going to be in it. Could be 5, could be 10, could be 15. What we know now is through 2 days, there are 34 archers who are perfect. Perfect 600s they've shot. And that 34 archer list includes some of the biggest names in the world. Mike Schlosser, Stefan Hansen, Jesse Broadwater, Chance Bobuff, Aaron and Paul Tedford, the list goes on. Levi Morgan, mainly known as a 3D shooter, he's currently seated third with 56 X's. Levi has been pounding it this weekend. He's never won this tournament. Maybe this is the big year. We'll find out tomorrow. Before that, we've got with us Matthews Pro, Aaron McGladdery, who is shooting in the Women's Championship Compound Division. Many of you probably know Erin for her 3D accomplishments. She's the two-time reigning IBO Triple Crown champion. Erin.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
So as we were just talking about, 3D, that's your game.
It is.
But you are here at the Vegas shooting as well. Why do there's a lot of 3D main archers who are competing here.
There are.
Why do you do this to yourself?
After today, I'm not so sure. No, we shoot it to get better, or at least that's why I shoot it, is to work on execution and just focus on simply shooting without all the other aspects that we focus on in 3D.
Right. I would imagine, you know, any of these competitions, whether it's, you know, indoor here or even field or some of the others, that's just going to help you. But explain the differences between here you have an aiming dot in your division for IBO and ASA, you don't have an aiming dot.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, is aiming at a spot versus aiming at something you pick out, a little piece of detail or shadow or anything on that target, rather than aiming right dead center in the middle of a perfectly shaped spot.
Right,
so that's
right.
a big one. Another one for me is shooting 3 arrows at a time versus 1 at a time, which we are used to shooting. So that's the part I think is the hardest for me, is that when you're shooting 3D, it's like 1 and done, and then you get a break. Just focus for 1. And here, you shoot that 1, and it's like, okay, we just keep going 1 at a time over and over. So that part's taking a while to get used to.
Now, Erin, you've been kind of building up your career the last couple of years. We've been seeing you at more and more events. How is that part of your career going? How is building up? You're shooting a lot more.
Yeah, it's been good. This year I added on pretty much a full indoor schedule because I'm a sucker for punishment. No, I just want to keep, I just want to get better, and I think that's a good way to do it.
Gotcha. Now we've got the ASA coming up here in a couple weeks, fully 2 weeks I think it is.
Yes.
That's the start of the season. Have you transitioned yet, or are you still in indoor mode?
I have not. So where I live, it's not really conducive to shooting 3D. The only thing I've been shooting is shooting down my hallway, really. Shooting indoor at 20 yards in my house.
Let's tell the viewers where you live, because it's pretty unique and it's been pretty cold there.
Yeah, I live in Saskatchewan. Sorry for all the people at home that are freezing. It's been so cold.
So we have Doug McDonough. He says good luck.
Hi, Doug.
So he's
Thank
wishing you the best of luck.
Yeah.
But tell us about your setup here at Vegas. What do you got for weights on your bars? What arrows are you shooting? What points do you got?
Yeah, so I'm shooting the TRX 38 with Easton 2712s.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What do you do for weights, front and back?
So I run a 27-inch front bar, and I think I have 16 ounces on it, and a 12-inch back bar with, I think, 25 ounces.
Will that change? The weights change when you go to 3D?
No, I don't think so.
You keep the
Should
same?
be good, yeah. If I knew there were going to be a lot of steep angles, I might take some off, but it's quite flat and fully, so I'll just keep it the same.
And this is your first year with Matthews. How's that going as well?
Good, yes.
Yeah.
Happy to be there. Super excited for the year, and I'm really excited to aim at some 3D targets.
Hopefully it'll be a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question here from Lisa Van Houten. I would love to hear about Aaron's shooting process. Let's start there because it's a multiple part question. So what is your shooting process?
So I think that's referring to like mental process mostly. So I just have a program that starts with like one physical thing, and for me it's when I clip my release on the string, and then I run that process the same each time. No matter what the outcome is, it's always the same.
Do you have a set time that you want to shoot in, or is it just, are you going by feel? I know some people will like sing a song in their head or say a phrase, and you know they want to release at the end of that phrase.
Yeah, I will do that sometimes. Have a song going through my head to try and get that shot timing going. But if everything's rolling well, then I just try not to really think about much.
Gotcha. The second part of that question was, what release aid do you prefer?
So I'm shooting the Goat from True Ball, and I'm shooting it as a hinge.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you shoot that? The Goat obviously is one that can convert from a thumb button to a hinge.
Yeah.
Do you ever shoot it as the thumb? Is that why you picked that release?
I don't. I just really like the feel of that handle, so I just shoot it as a hinge, but I'm not much of a thumb trigger shooter, so.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Let's see. Chuck Cooley. Hey Chuck. He asks, will you shoot the same version of bow for 3D, and what diameter shaft for 3D?
Yeah, so I will shoot the exact same bow. I'll just kind of swap my rest and tune for my 3D arrows, and I'm going to shoot Super Drive 25s, so 25 diameter.
I'm guessing you're probably changing your point weight for that as well.
Yes.
get your speed up.
Yeah, for the ASA, I'll shoot 100 grain points in my 25s.
Gotcha. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Mike Bassler asked, do you shoot the same bow indoor and ASA? Yeah, you do.
I will this year, I think.
Which begs the question then. I know some archers have one bow set up for IBO and another for ASA.
Yes.
Do you do that?
I will be doing that, yes.
You do that. Why? What's the difference?
Just for the speed. So generally, I'll shoot a shorter axle-to-axle bow for the IBO just to get the speed, and I do that because I'd rather have maybe those extra 10 feet than have it as accurate as an indoor bow. So I like to compromise that a little bit. They still shoot really good, maybe just not quite as good as our indoor setups, but just a little bit shorter, a little faster, so it's more forgiving on yardage.
3D, that's coming up. We'll get to that. To shift back to the Vegas, I think I saw today that there were 4 women in your division who are clean.
Yes.
600. I know Sarah Preels was one, and Sarah Lopez was another.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome.
Talk about the mental management that must take to be able to shoot 600 here.
Oh yeah, it's tough. You have to be tough, and execution's got to be there, whether you're shaky or not. I think nearly everyone shakes a little bit. If they don't, they're superhuman. But you know, even talking to some of the top guys today, everybody's a little shaky. So to be able to do that and execute and stay composed 2 days in a row is great. So hopefully they keep it going.
Here's a great question. I like this one from Mike Bassler. How do you practice range judging up north for early season 3D? Everything's snow.
Yeah, you just practice. I'll take my rangefinder and just walk and judge random objects and kind of just try to judge distance of, you know, telephone poles and whatever it might be. It's not ideal because you don't have any greenery or trees or nothing brown on the ground. It's all just a big white blanket. So it's tough, but
you're in the prairie country, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Is there areas, because once you go to Foley, I mean, that's like thick and it's like a jungle. Are there places you can go where you can get into some vegetation? I mean, even though it's covered with snow, just to get that feel.
Yeah, you might have to snowshoe, but you can get into the woods and, you know, kind of look at trees and that type thing. I don't know how beneficial it really is judging in the snow, but it's better than nothing, right?
Hey, absolutely. Okay, John ID, I may have mispronounced that, I'm not sure, asks, what arrow length and point weight are you shooting for indoor?
I am running a 28-inch arrow with 250 grains up front.
250 grains?
Yes.
Gotcha. That's a standard setup there. What weight bows? I guess he's talking about what's your draw weight.
Yeah, I believe it's maxed out at 60 pounds, which is the cap for this shoot, isn't it? Or is there a cap? Yeah, so 60 pounds, and in a lot of the women's classes, like the IBO, we're generally capped at 60 pounds. So
you'll keep that the same?
I try to keep that the same all the time, or close to it.
And now you and I had an interesting discussion about the mods that you have in there when you were at the Lancaster Archery Classic.
Yes.
I believe you said you're shooting the TRX, so you would have the 80% mods, the 70V mods, which is a little bit of a valley, and then the regular 70 mods.
Right.
And I believe you said you like the 70 mods.
I do.
And you said you wish it was even a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I just like that aggressive feeling so that you're either on the back wall or you're off. There's no kind of in between. And that's why I like to shoot mine that aggressive.
Are you pulling the whole time, or your release style, or are you a relaxation?
I'm pulling enough to keep it on the back wall, and then I'd say most of it's finger pressure from there.
Oh, gotcha.
Just kind of static.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Chris Skelly says, hi, Aaron.
Hi,
shoot
Chris
the best
Skelly.
you can.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like that's all the questions we got. Aaron, we certainly appreciate your time and insight here. We wish you the best on the 3rd day of Vegas tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
And as well as with the ASA coming up in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Hang on one second there. Folks, we have Darrin Christenberry coming up in a couple minutes. So same thing, if you got questions for Darrin, you can start sending them over to us now. Yesterday here at the Vegas shoot, Bowtech Archery launched a brand new bow for 2019, a new target bow. It's got some great innovation that's got a lot of people here excited, and we got the chance to check out that bow this morning. Let's take a look at this new bow. All right, we're over here in the Bowtech booth where yesterday Bowtech launched a brand new bow. I am here with brand manager Todd Snader. Todd, tell us about this awesome new bow we got here.
Awesome. Thanks, PJ. Thanks for coming over. We're excited to get it out there. We actually debuted this kind of unofficially at the ATA show to all the dealers. So some of those kind of the Sasquatch photos have been getting out, some of the leaks. So we were really, really excited to get it out to consumers because we felt this is the best venue here in Vegas to launch this, because the 2019 Reckoning was really designed kind of as a target slash somebody that wants a little longer axle-to-axle crossover bow. That's why we have this cool red bow, and we talked about internally, like, we got to do this in Vegas. We want everybody to see it. So the new Reckoning debuts our new technology, which is called deadlock technology, and it consists of three main components, which is one is the deadlock cable containment system, which mitigates torque in the bow as you draw the bow, allows the cables to go inward, reduces that lateral torque. We have the deadlock pockets, which are double locking. It locks the limbs into the pocket and the pocket into the riser, so it eliminates any of that movement. Once you set it, you lock it down, you don't get those flyers. You get that consistency, nothing's moving around on you as well. But the big thing this year we're really, really excited to debut is the deadlock synchronized binary cam system, specifically with new cam drive. So cam drive is really going to change the way you look at tuning, how quick you look at tuning, how simple you look at tuning. Dealers are seeing this and they're loving it. What it does is, currently we have our overdrive binary cam system, which is really revolutionized technology as it is, but you still have to go to a press. With the new cam drive system, you can unlock the cams, adjust them. So I'm on the range, I'm shooting it through paper, I have a little bit of kick. I'm going to unlock the setting, adjust the cam left or right depending on my tear, lock it back down. And I've not even stepped off the line at that point or stepped out of my tuning area. That's why dealers really love this, but for consumers, it's less time in the shop, more time out here on the range shooting, more time out in the field hunting. They're not spending all that time in the shop, which is huge. It's huge.
Todd, that's just unbelievable. You know, from working on bows, doing yoke tuning, putting in spacers, all that stuff. You just need a set of Allen wrenches.
That's correct. That's correct. You don't have to. You have to go to the press. You don't have to tear it apart, play it around. I mean, if you're using spacers, you throw your spacers in. You go back over your tune. Up, that wasn't right. You go back. You tear it down. You put a different spacer in it again. May not be right. It may be right, but you're half hour in at that point potentially. That's if your press is close. With this, you're done in 5 minutes. And it locks down, which is great because we call it precise for life. It's not a shim. Even realistically, shims can wear out over time. This, you adjust it, you lock it down, you're done. You're done at that point.
So let's run down some of the features here: the speed, the brace height, overall length, that thing, and then also we'll check out some of these new colors.
Will do. So as I mentioned, this technology debuts on the 2019 Reckoning, and I talked about it, kind of the 3D crossover. It's a 35.5 inch axle to axle. So it's kind of that sweet spot. And the great thing, feedback here in Vegas, is people are liking maybe a little longer axle to axle. So we may have that coming somewhere down, along the road. We love feedback from consumers like this. The Realm X right now is one of our big 3D bows. This is really going to live in that niche because people will like that. They like this cam system in there. So 7-inch brace height, 35-inch axle to axle, super forgiving with that. The brace height as well. It's available in 50, 60, and 70-pound peak weights, and each of those will go down. We listed as 10, but they'll go a little over that, so potentially you can get about 15 out of there. 335 on the IBO speed, so it's pretty good speed for a 3D style bow, even a hunting bow. Personally, I like a little longer axle-to-axle hunting bow. I'm probably going to switch to this. I'm shooting an SR6 playing around with them this year. I really like this bow. The cams, the draw on it's phenomenal. I think I'm gonna switch over to that. Yeah, and it has the flip disc technology, which is huge because you can take, it comes standard in a comfort setting, and you can flip that over and pick up about 8 feet more per second in speed, and really extend your range a little flatter shooting. And what it does is basically holds the poundage a little bit longer, and gives you just that last little punch there too.
Draw length range.
Yep, so great draw length range as well. So 26 to 31 inches on the draw length range. So it nearly fits everyone at that point. Half-inch increments, and on that module itself, it's all on the module, so you don't have to switch out the modules, get new cams, you can make the adjustment there. Let off, a lot of people have been asking us about the let off. So in the comfort setting, it is 82% where it's set, and in the performance, it's 80%. But the post is, they're not dedicated holes. You can slide the let off post a little bit and play around with that. If you'd like a little less valley, a little more holding weight, you can bump that a little shorter and then reduce your let off. Great thing is we have some cool colors. We were talking about some colors. So for that, the Hunter, we have pretty much the standard black. We have the new Brown Country Roots, which we debuted on our Realm SS and our SR6. And then in the Target, and we actually have a flat dark earth, which is kind of a crossover as well, kind of lives with the black. That's been super popular for us. But on the Target side, we have white, and then we have red as our standard offering, but we're also looking at some additional colors, kind of a custom order. We're going to offer blue. We actually have a neon green here that we brought along for feedback from everybody. We're looking at some grays. So a lot of the automotive finishes, they're really flashy. So our goal was to maybe have, on top of the additional, the standard offerings, maybe about 5 more additional Target colors that you can choose from. So.
Well, Todd, this is incredible. Bowtech always comes out with some great technology in their bows, and I'm sure we're real excited to see this out on the line and see people get this in their hands. So we certainly appreciate your time.
Not a problem. I thank you for stopping over here. It was great seeing you, and I'm excited to get this out here for everybody.
All right, thank you, Todd. All right, so our next guest, he has been around the archery industry for some time. He's a pro shooter himself, and he is also the pro staff coordinator for Elite and the outdoor group. Darrin Christenberry, come on up, buddy.
Thank you, PJ.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So we were just talking about the archers, the 34 archers who are still perfect, clean through 2 days. Who do you got from Elite still with us?
We have Jace Boyles. Jace is a young kid from Kentucky that was brought to my attention, to our attention by his local shop. Our sales rep in that area says, man, we got to do something for this kid. He's the real, and I was told by a lot of people, this kid's the real deal. And in the past couple of tournaments, Lancaster, and now the first 2 days in Vegas, I mean, Jace is in college, and he's having so much fun, and you can just feel the enthusiasm when you talk to him. He is having so much fun, no nerves. He's excited about shooting. And he's in there clean. He shot 28 X's yesterday, 27 today. Wow. He's down 5 supers. And then we got 3-time Vegas champion, Chance Bobeff, 26 yesterday, 28 today.
Wow.
Just, he's amazing. I mean, that's all you can say about Chance. I was sitting with Kelsey while he shot his last in today, and I said, it just kind of makes me mad watching him shoot like he does, because he's so good at it, you know, and him and a bunch of people are so good at it. So. Well,
one of the most amazing things I've ever seen Chance do was last year at the Classic, Lancaster Archery Classic. He's up there on the final stage. His third arrow, his release went off. Yeah. He launched one over into the wall, and then he never missed an X for the rest of that match. Yeah. I mean, as rattled as I'm sure he was, didn't matter.
His mental game is, he's at the top, you know, and when he gets on a roll, he's hard to beat. You know, you don't win Vegas by accident. Right. And he's done it 3 times. So, and now, you know, he's got 30 arrows to go tomorrow to get in a shoot-off again. So, but really anybody can win once you get to that shoot-off.
Sure. So that's who we've got in for Elite. We got a couple heartbreaks today.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We were both down there on the line. Jacob Marlowe, his very last arrow, just went out, was a line cutter. Now, he still could be in the mix for the lucky dog. Right. That's a long shot, but if you're alive, at least you can still play.
For sure.
And Nathan Brooks dropped one today, and I believe Garrett Erisman
dropped one also
dropped one. How are they feeling, and what do they do to get into tomorrow, because they're not dead yet? I mean, they do still have a chance.
They're disgusted. I mean, getting through the first day at Vegas is almost like, okay, pressure's off. You know, now I can go in tomorrow and really concentrate and focus. And then you get down to those last 2 or 3 arrows, and your heart rate comes up. You know, hey, I can't get the 900 unless I get the 600.
Right.
Some of these guys have no pulse. They don't even think about stuff like that. It's just another arrow, and if they're running their shot routine, it's no big deal. But if you start thinking about it, and it's obviously everybody does it. You know, Jacob wouldn't have missed today. I don't know if he wasn't feeling good and hasn't been feeling good. And not that that's an excuse, but it just, it happens to everybody. We saw some fantastic shooters drop their last arrow today.
Right, right. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, your pro staff coordinator, Elite and the outdoor group is here as a vendor. How important is the Vegas shoot for your brands?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the Vegas, in my opinion, and it's been my opinion for years, the Vegas is the most prestigious tournament an archer can win and have on their resume. And the marketability that gives a company and your brands, it's unbelievable. I mean, this is the biggest, again, most prestigious tournament on the planet, in my opinion. So when your companies or your brands are on the podium in first place, man, that means something.
You're hoping somebody's there with a camera.
Exactly. Take a picture, tell the world, right?
We have some questions coming in, Darrin, and Mike Bassler is asking, what power optics do you run for indoor and for 3D and also whitetail hunting?
Whitetail hunting. I use a 10x42. I use the Vortex stuff. I use that for 3D and for indoors. And then I have a smaller pair of 10x4. I use 10x42 for everything.
Gotcha.
So 12 power stuff is just a little bit too magnified for me.
Right.
And then the 8 power stuff is just, I want to see a little more detail.
Yeah.
But I run 10x42s on everything.
Gotcha. Here's one, other than practice, what advice do you have for amateurs trying to make it to the pro level? I mean, we just talked about Jace, that he is now coming up to pro level. What kind of advice do you have for somebody?
Archery's created this kind of culture in the past to where manufacturers had so many people coming in with their hands out, you know, hey, and some of these people deserve a shot, they really do. You know, hey, I've done this, I do this, but a lot of times those relationships are one-sided. You never hear back from these people until, you know, hey, I need more new product, you know, well, where's our return on that investment? So what we're looking for now is, we're not going to change the whole culture ourselves, but we're looking for people that have an impact locally, regionally, have a relationship with their shop. And Jace came to us, highly recommended, hey, this kid's helped open up a couple of elite dealers. He's on the pedestal for these S3DA shooters. They think the world of him. He has a very big impact. So we're like, that's a no-brainer. We want this guy on our team. So now, obviously, you get a guy come out here and win Vegas, he's going to have people knocking on his door, but you know, we have to have a relationship. We want the shooters working for us. We want the shooters working for the dealers. We want the dealers for working with us, and we'll work with the dealers also. It's just a big relationship now. So,
from the shooter side, so what is somebody like Jacob Marlowe? Obviously, he goes out here and he just shoots lights out and everything. But what's he doing that we don't see? The benefit.
Oh gosh, he has a great social media presence, you know, and that's big. Everything's right there at your fingertips all the time, you know. Jacob's probably not in the shops moving as many bows, but that's okay. He's out here on the stage. People are watching him. I don't know how many thousands of views the Lancaster videos had. He's attractive. People want to know what he's shooting. People want to get inside of his head. What's he thinking? Why is he so laid back? You know, and that's great. That's value, because people want to know. You know, they want to know about our brands, because why is he shooting our stuff? There's a reason why, and they want to know why.
For several years, the last few years, kind of the Open Pro at the Classic, the views were not as high as they had been, and then this year, boom, they spiked up, and I'm sure it was because of Jacob. I mean, he's great on stage. He's just got that charisma that people like to follow.
And it's hard to put a value on a shooter. You know, you get a guy that's a multinational world champion, you know, what's he worth? I have no idea. How do you measure that? I don't know. Is it by bow sales? But you know, clicks, likes, and shares and views on social media, pretty valuable.
Absolutely. Let's see what we got here. Cody Lancaster.
Hey, Cody.
Name.
Hi, Cody.
Says, hey, Big D. Looks like that's all we got for questions, Darrin. Before we wrap up, though, tomorrow we got the final day of shooting to get to the 900. If you're talking to, you're probably not going to say anything to Chance because he's been there a million times. If you're talking to Jace, what might you say to him?
I talked to him earlier, and he's so excited. He's like, man, I'm just having fun, and I just like this, and I'm confident. And I said, you know what you changed? He's like, what? I said, nothing. Keep having fun. You know, I said, the hard part's going to be over when you shoot that 900. The hard part's done. Get to that shoot off, have some fun. The pressure's off. You know, it's not really. but it is. You know, years ago when I made the shoot off here in Vegas, I was so nervous on those last 3 arrows, and I shot right behind Chance. And probably, if it wasn't for Chance, I probably wouldn't have shot the 900 because he's like, dude, just do what you do, just do what you do. So, and I got through that, but once that last arrow hit and I had the 900 on my scorecard, it was like, oh, okay, let's go shoot off and have some fun. It was way easier. The shoot off was way easier than getting that 900. So advice to Jace and anybody else, getting that 900's hard. The shoot off's way easier. So
I saw Seb Pinot when he shot his last arrow, which was a line cutter. I went by, I said, are you good? And he said, yeah, but I hate this game.
It's so tough.
I think he was going to have a heart attack.
It really is. My heart was beating out of my chest yesterday for no reason, but Vegas will do that to you.
Right. That's great. Well, Darrin, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
We wish your archers the best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hope to see them in the final shoot-off right here behind us tomorrow at 5:30. Hang with us for 1 second. Earlier today, we got a chance to visit one of the iconic scenes here at the Vegas shoot. You've seen photos of it, I'm sure, for years. It's the Hoyt 300 wall. Let's check that out. So here we are in front of the iconic Hoyt 300 wall. I am here with Mike Looper, who's going to tell us about this wall and what its meaning is at this tournament here.
Yeah, you know, Hoyt's been coming to Vegas for many years. We've been a supporter of the Vegas tournament since really the inception of Vegas. And, you know, obviously everyone's dream at Vegas is to shoot a 300, right? And at Hoyt, we want to honor and respect that great accomplishment as well. And so, you know, for years we've been celebrating the 300. It's the coveted score. It's what everybody wants to do. And so we created their 300 stamp. And so you can come by the Hoyt booth and get a 300 stamp. And they also have a 300 pin that the archers get. So every time they shoot a 300, we want to celebrate that great score, stamping their target, giving them the pin that they can collect.
And so what happens is anybody, not just pros, anybody who's shooting a Hoyt bow anywhere in the Vegas shoot, any division, and they can come in and bring their target to you, and you guys certify it and hang it on this wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we ask if we can hang it on the wall for the tournament. They come collect it at the end of the tournament. But it's so fun to see shooters race up to get their pin, to get the 300 stamp, and it's just truly, it's a real blessing, a real honor to be able to do that as a company, to build equipment that allows these shooters to, you know, to accomplish such a feat. And so for us, we get a kick out of it, and it's super cool to be able to do that.
Well, Mike, I think I counted 27 from day one. We're here at the morning of day two, so hopefully there'll be a lot more up here come the end of Sunday.
Yeah, we should actually do a time lapse of this wall. It just, you know, as it grows. So it's fun, and like I said, we're grateful for all the shooters who support us, and we want to obviously show that support back.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our coverage for tonight at the 2019 Vegas shoot. You can see behind me the finals arena is really getting set up. Again, that's for the World Archery Indoor Archery Series finals, the gold matches, 8 o'clock tonight. You're going to want to check World Archery's Facebook page to get that. Other than that, we will be back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Be sure and check in. There will be a preview before the big finale tomorrow night. So we appreciate you watching tonight. Come on back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Vince Lombardi once said, winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I've learned in my career I'm only as good as the tools I use.
12 for Levi Morgan.
One chance, one moment, one shot.
We don't build these bows to be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the mavericks, the fearless. We forge our own path. We're not chasing anyone, but we know what they're running from. It's an obsession, and the obsessed never rest.